G'day gang, GameolioDan here. How you going? We're back in the Elder Scrolls Online in the Summerset. And I'm just running up those stairs, as you saw. Yep. I described my actions perfectly. Now, just want to mention something real quick. I just noticed when I logged in, people in the zone very excited about something. So apparently there is an event called the Summerfall event. If you log in between now, when you see this video, and I guess a little bit before as well, up until about October 7th, I think it's 7th, you can be eligible to win whatever rewards have been unlocked. And one of those rewards, which I don't think has been unlocked yet, is a massive house. At least it looks massive on the picture. If you want to check out more information though, including the date, don't take my word for it, go to the Google in Summerfall event and have a look at all the details. I believe it's just primarily if you want to help to unlock it, riding around to different locations, including this place right here, and making sure that you visited them. That helps to push that meter, which you'll see on that website, closer, I guess, to 100%. The more people that do it, the greater the chance is we'll actually unlock that house. I think at the moment we've unlocked maybe a horse or two, which is by itself is cool. And like I said, to get those rewards, all you actually really got to do is log in. So I think if you log in at the last second before the event finishes, you'll be eligible to receive whatever rewards have been unlocked. But if you want to help, you need to go and do the achievement. I believe it's... Hang on a second, let me see if I can pull that achievement up. I'm always terrible when I comes to looking through these types of things, finding achievements and the such, because I hardly ever look at them. Here we go, achievements. If we can find Somerset, Exploration, and I imagine it'll be here, Somerset Pathfinder. This is the one. So if you visit all these areas, which it looks like we've visited a fair few of them, we've got Cathedral Webs and Aldmortar Ruins. If you complete that, that'll go towards contributing for that event. But anyway, I'll leave that as is. Go check out, go Google it. Google it up. Get all the details, the proper details. And yeah, find out for yourself. Okay, talk to Oriandra. Oriandra in the Right Master's study. Lost in translation. So this is the next part of the, I guess, the main quest.
Not derived from Ayrenn, though I see a possible correlation to Daedric linguistic patterns. Who's... Oh, don't you know not to interrupt a sage when she's deep in concentration? I suppose the Right Master sent you to see how my research was coming along. I've listened to his memory over and over, and I examined every relevant tome I could find.
Have you been able to identify the unknown language?
Not yet. The Master of the House of Reveries sent me his work. It relates to a similar language seen in the ruins of Ebenstadmont, but I only understand a little of it. I wish Lathan was still one of us. He was our language expert.
Lathan's an expert on ancient languages.
Ancient languages and battle magic, to name just a few. Lathan betrayed us, and I don't trust him, but I've reached a dead end. We need help, and he's the best option I can think of. Take the notes and show them to Lathan. What do we have to lose?
I'll take the notes and I'll talk to Lathan.
I'll let the Right Master know what I proposed. He may not like it, but he's always telling us to utilize every available resource. I think this qualifies. You'll find Lathan in Valserin's study. See if you can convince him to translate the words.
Do you really expect Lathan to help us?
I have no idea, but it's worth a try. I know Lathan and the Right Master were friends. I don't believe Lathan would purposely try to harm Ikisis. On the other hand, if Lathan thinks that helping us will help his cause, he'll jump at the chance.
Why do you think Lathan joined forces with Mephala?
I suppose it had something to do with his daughter. Eldaway was a beautiful girl, smart, sweet, and full of energy. She brightened the entire island. When she fell ill, Lathan and Valserin grew apart. It was how they dealt with the tragedy.
The Psijic Order couldn't save her?
Don't you think we tried? The Right Master, Valserin, the entire Conclave. But nothing helped. She grew weaker and weaker, and then she was gone. Val threw herself into her work after that. Lathan just grew more distant.
Shouldn't Valserin ask Lathan for this favor?
Only if you want to guarantee that Lathan refuses to help us. Haven't you seen them since they were reunited? Val wants to kill him and Lathan hates her with a passion. They used to be so in love. Now it breaks my heart to see them like this.
Okay. Grand Maestro's Forte's research. An unknown language covers the massive stone discovered in the heart of the Ebenstadmont. I've been able to make some progress in formulating a key to translate the ancient language, but I have so little to work with, save their writing on the stone. The language is definitely older than anything I've studied in Tamriel or even the Hall of Nurn. I suspect it has some connection to Daedric, but as impossible as it sounds, I think this writing may even predate the language of Oblivion. I was able to translate one of the stanzas on the stone, but I have no idea what it signifies. The crow leads the way when our paths go astray, and the towering trees block the way. My efforts continue to yield results. I found this stanza to be particularly mystifying. A pair of crows to begin your search, then a lone crow upon a perch. But it's not one or two that open the way. The crows will have their say. The more I study this mysterious language, the more anxious and concerned I become. It sometimes seems that just trying to unravel its meaning is garnering the attention of forces I can barely begin to understand. I think I'll put this research away for a while and turn my efforts to other projects. Perhaps I'll finish writing that comedy about the three Khajiit who lost their silken gloves. Alright, to Earl Lathan. There's a lot of noise in that room, isn't there? So many people. 1, 2. Keep going, keep going. You want to go in here. In here, yeah, that's right. 3, 4. Anyone else? No? 5? Okay. A lot of traffic here either way. Plenty of traffic.
Interesting. You weren't this attentive when our daughter actually needed you.
Lathan, I need to go check on the knight anyway.
Val, wait.
Lathan. Why you gotta say things like that, mate?
By the spinner's holy webs. When did I become an insufferable arse? Valcerin didn't deserve that. Ildaway was her daughter too. Why am I talking to you about this? I know it isn't because I like you. Because I really don't.
Oh, don't be like that, mate. I understand you're good with languages.
Is this some new attempt at interrogation? If so, I'm not familiar with the technique. Very well, I'll play along. Yes, I am a master linguist, specializing in ancient and obscure languages. Why do you ask?
The Right Master heard these words, but we can't translate them. They may point to their tower crystal.
Intriguing. I've never seen this dialect before. I can translate it, but I need more to work with. I need to examine the original tablets found at Ebenstadmont. That will never happen, of course. You do remember I'm a prisoner here, don't you?
I can go to Ebenstadmont. What do you need to complete the translation?
According to those notes, the writing is carved into a massive stone. I doubt you'd be able to carry it back here. All right, you've piqued my interest. Use this rune when you reach Ebenstadmont, and I'll be able to see what you see.
What does the rune you gave me do exactly?
Nothing nefarious, if that's what you're asking. Just enter the forest, find the obscure language, and use the rune so I can see what you see. It won't do anything beyond that, I assure you.
What can I expect to find at Ebenstadmont?
According to the scribblings of this Grand Maestro Forte, Spinner's Web, that's a pompous title. The forest is a maze filled with all kinds of beasts and Daedra. As to the reason why, who can say? Sometimes a cursed wood is just a cursed wood.
What's going on between you and Valcerin?
I don't see how that's relevant to our interactions. Not in the least. Still, my words were spiteful, meant to hurt her. There was no need for me to open old wounds. But why does this concern you? I'm your enemy. Are you too dense to see that?
I know you're our enemy. I need to understand you in order to remain one step ahead of you.
Interesting. Honesty and a shrewd tactic. I can appreciate that. Still, my business is my own. I'm not looking for a friend or to rejoin the Psijics. I'll help you because the court needs to find the Tower Crystal as much as you do.
Okay, oh. Interesting. Interesting look there. Okay, use Lathan's rune in Ebenstadmont, which is... Ebenstadmont. Over there. This time we'll remember to use the way shrine. Man, this place is packed. It's not too far from this one right here. It is the Ebenstadmont way shrine. Okay, we go south. It's not too far. Alright, there we go. There it is. So we gotta somehow work our way through this and then to the left. This is not your normal path, I'd say. Use Lathan's rune. Here we go.
The rune is working perfectly. It's almost as if I'm standing right next to you. I can feel the powerful magic that permeates this place. I sense a Daedric influence, but something that's far older than my Prince Vathala.
What should I be looking for?
The Maestro's notes said the ancient words were etched into a massive stone. I expect you'll need to travel deeper into the forest to find the exact location. I can't translate the words the right master heard until you find that stone.
How do I find this massive stone covered in the ancient writing?
I'm not your tour guide. Just pick a direction and start walking. Wait a moment. The Maestro's notes. There was a passage that might help. Something about crows. Maybe that would be enough to guide you.
I'll find the stone.
Refer to the book and use the rune again when you locate the ancient writing.
Check for the Indrik. I don't want to hurt you, buddy.
Wherever could that blasted
Oh, mate, we just went-
mercenary be?
The way shrine's here, and we went all the way around. What would you like, Anduin?
Rugged individual, obviously well-travelled. Yes, you should do quite nicely. Are you available for hire? I need an escort for an expedition. I expect we'll encounter some danger along the way, but I'm sure it's nothing you can't handle.
What kind of expedition?
And put simply, I found records of an ancient temple, somewhere in this very forest. I've come to study what secrets it may hold. I will warn you, Ebenstadmont can be tricky to navigate. You'll have to keep a lookout.
Tricky to navigate. How so?
Travelers become lost, sometimes for days. From what I heard, the forest appears to shift as you move through it. We'll need to keep close together. So, want to help me unlock an ancient mystery? I must say, I do pay well.
Sure. I'll escort you through Ebenstadmont. You're going my way anyway.
Thank you for accepting my offer. I'm quite excited to be heading my own expedition. Usually I work under Tellinger, the artificer, but sometimes he's a bit much. It's nice to finally be able to break free from being his assistant.
Have you quit being Tellinger's assistant then?
Oh no, of course not. The Mages Guild still requires me to accompany him on his expeditions. I've just taken a short sabbatical is all. As soon as I finish my research here, I'm sure I'll be off on more hair-raising adventures.
It seems as though you're not very happy as Tellinger's assistant.
Well, being Tellinger's assistant is informative in many ways, but I think now's the time to prove to the Mages Guild, and to myself, that I can strike out on my own. Ebenstadmont just happened to catch my interest.
What's so interesting about Ebenstadmont?
The ruins within Ebenstadmont are ancient, perhaps even built in the Merethic era. They contain inscriptions of a mysterious language, which only a few have begun to translate. I believe these inscriptions can help lead us to the inner temple.
Okay. What do you know about the temple?
Not much. Even though one can see the temple through the trees, the forest has made all research near impossible. It most likely was a place of worship, now abandoned. For some reason, the worshippers wished for the temple to remain inaccessible.
Inaccessible? How so?
The nature of this forest doesn't allow travelers to simply walk to the temple we seek. Someone must have used magic to accomplish this, in order to keep outsiders from entering. Luckily, the inscriptions here should guide us.
It's a familiar dog behind her. Speaking of the inscriptions, what can you tell me about the language here?
It's old, even for a High Elf's perspective. I found translations of only a few phrases, and even those are sparse. An interesting topic for a linguist, perhaps, but for me it's only the means to an end. The temple is all I wish to investigate.
How will the inscriptions help us find the temple?
As I said before, this forest is tricky to navigate. The pathways twist and shift as you walk through it. That's why the temple hasn't been explored previously. Following these inscriptions should lead us to the temple.
Okay, okay. Or maybe it's just a normal dog. Maybe it's just your standard dog. Remember seeing a shaggy dog like that once before. Alright. Ebenstadmont. Oh, hang on a second. What? Oh! That was cool.
Yes, this is exactly what we're looking for. Why, it's almost as if I can hear the words. Sel Ra Ang Yond.
Portals?
Eastern Temple? Daedra? I don't have time for distractions. Could you hold them off while I finish translating?
Yeah, sure, why not? What else am I gonna do, eh? Next. Next. Oh, rig on the big guns. Is that somebody? Oh, somebody else is here now. Oh, I want to get knocked off. Ow! I seem to be running in. Cop the knockdown.
The inscription indicates that the temple is further up. Quick, follow me.
Alright, hang on, is this... We're going in the same direction? Oh, whatever, let's get in there.
By your
Let me get this back on. Okay, find the path to the ruin.
This way! I'm over here! Well, seems the rumors are true. Ebenstadmont truly does twist around you. Perhaps... Aha! Now let's see. That voice again.
Oh,
Kara Ekne. Past pathway? Daedra again?
yep.
You don't have time for this.
You don't have time for it. No, you don't. You just keep translating. We got another two-hander here. A two-hander Nord. Alright, hang on. There's a lot of portals here. This place is killing my frame rate. Where is she? Oh, she ran right ahead, didn't she? Aha! The Ebon Sanctum. High Elves are used to magic, so the misdirection spells wreathing the woods of Ebenstadmont are regarded by the locals as a sort of amusing curiosity. There's talk of an Ebon Sanctum hidden somewhere within. And here we are. Dear Dano Gameolio, if you're reading this, you finally caught up to me. As I was translating the stone before you, a door opened ahead. I waited for you, but I can't risk the door closing. Just read the inscription on the stone and you should be able to follow. I think you'll find it easy enough to translate. May the stars guide you. And when... How did you manage to write all that? Don't worry. These bones are mine.
Hurrah, Vonisto, the past revealed.
Take care of that thing before it takes care of us.
Kill the Daedra. What? And when? Night Stealer, Serena. No, no interrupt. Here we go. Okay. Serena is down. Heal the Fletch. Heal Fletchy.
Thank the stars. I think he's coming too.
Am I really an Aetherius? I didn't know they let your kind in here.
Don't worry, you're alive. Can I ask your name?
We of the House of Reveries have no names, only masks. But you can call me Fletch, because I specialize in the art of the bow, see? Oh, my aching head. How did I end up here? I don't remember a thing.
Do you remember coming to Ebenstadmont?
Ebenstadmont. I'm sorry, but I just don't remember. I must have come here with my traveling troupe, though. I wouldn't have left Relenthil without them. Someone must have ambushed me. A ferocious someone, given my state.
Perhaps it was the Daedra I just defeated.
Daedra? Mara's elbow, that doesn't sound good. Could you help me find my troop leader, Maestro Forte? I need to warn him. He should be somewhere nearby, I think.
Alright, let's go. A lot of empty bookshelves there.
Forte! Is that you?
Fletch, what's happened? The whole troop is looking for you.
Grand Maestro Forte? Why, I had no idea you were in Ebenstadmont.
Grand? Oh no, I'm simply Maestro Forte. Hardly worthy of the title Grand yet.
Got a very familiar name. A familiar name, familiar sounding voice rather. Similar to that of the Right Master.
It appears you've saved Fletch from the brink of death. It brings to mind the story of Tamriel, who of course was saved by the Nereids of... but now is not the time for such tales. Tell me, what has happened?
Enduin saved his life. He can't remember anything, but there are Daedra nearby.
Daedra? I had no idea. Our watch did report some strange creatures prowling about at night, but I've heard of no other attacks. Something must be attracting them here. Did you just come from the temple?
Yep, that's where we found Fletch.
The only thing of note I discovered within the temple is a glowing stone in its main chamber. I've yet to translate the stone's inscription, but it may be attracting Daedra to it. I found a similar stone nearby. Can you help me investigate?
I can do that for you.
Excellent. Why don't you and your companion head to the stone? Just follow the path north. I'll escort Fletch to our camp and make sure he's seen to. We'll meet back here afterward and share our findings.
We'll take care of it. Okay. So, before you go too far though, let's see how that lines up with our quests.
I know this is strange, but let's get to this stone. Perhaps it can answer some questions.
Investigate the northern stone. I think it must be in a different area altogether.
The House of Reveries in Ebenstadmont? Why wouldn't I have heard about that?
This place reminds me of Dark Souls 2, right at the beginning. Kind of. Maybe a little bit more darker though.
Lenka, fall away. Future's door.
Did you hear it too? That woman's voice. At first I thought I was imagining it. Future's Door. A House of Reveries expedition I've never heard of. Grand Maestro Forte rebuffing his proper title. And the temple room where we found Fletch? It looked the same as the room we first entered, but there wasn't a cobweb or broken pew in sight.
It does all seem strange, but what does it mean?
It means we ventured somewhere we never should have gone. The past. I know it seems far-fetched, but remember that stone we first activated? I thought the inscription referenced an event, but the past was a destination, not an occurrence.
The stone in the temple sent us back to the past?
That's my theory, and I'd rather not explore further to find out. Affecting the past has far-reaching consequences. It makes me wonder what trouble we've already caused. But this stone's inscription indicates it should send us back to the present.
How can you be sure?
I can't be sure in all honesty, but we have to try. Otherwise we'll be stuck in the past.
Alright, I'll use the stone to go back to the present.
This stone should lead us back to our natural time. All you need to do is keep that destination clearly in your mind. I'll follow right behind you.
Why do I hear a woman's voice reading these inscriptions?
I've been hearing this voice since I first started translating these inscriptions. It must be some sort of magic, connected to the inscriptions. Perhaps connected to the language itself, come to think of it.
Isn't this language ancient and not very well known?
Oh, it is rather odd for a mysterious language to speak to anyone who reads it. The misdirecting nature of Ebenstadmont must have kept researchers from studying these inscriptions, that's all. Not to mention the local wildlife.
Seems rather convenient. A voice telling us where to go.
I'm not sure what to tell you. I do know that we have to return to our time, and quickly. This mysterious voice, whatever its motivation, is the only thing helping us do that. We have little choice but to follow it now.
Can you tell me more about Grand Maestro Forte's expedition?
It is quite intriguing. Grand Maestro Forte is the head of Summerset's greatest acting troupe, the House of Reveries. But I've also heard tale that he's a great academic as well, though perhaps I'm more familiar with his work than I thought.
What do you mean?
The research I've been using to help translate the language here came from an expedition that occurred around this time. Perhaps Maestro Forte wrote the very notes that led me here. I'll ask him, but I'd rather not affect the past more than we have.
Do you think we've changed the past already?
Well, Fletch was very close to death, and I recall seeing bones in our present time, right where I found him injured. Most likely he was supposed to die. I'm almost glad I was so ignorant when I healed him. I don't know what I would have done.
What do you mean?
As I said earlier, changing the past has far-reaching consequences. For all I know, healing Fletch could have dire consequences to our present. I would have had to weigh his life against the potential impact of that change. Quite a somber thought.
Well, maybe by doing that you've made the future more bright.
Who's there? It's you.
It did say future in it, didn't it?
Years and years, and I never could find you. And here you are, back where it all began. Looking as if you haven't aged a day. My friend, what happened to you?
I just came through the door to get back to our original time.
So the stone did send you to the future after all. I had feared the worst. That day I tried to follow after you and return to our original time. But the stone's magic faded, and the doorway closed. Try as I might, I couldn't get it open.
What did you do?
I was trapped within Ebenstadmont. For decades, I'd been studying this language and desperately searching for a way out. But my path would always lead me back here. But I did it. I finally found a way to go back, to stop this all from happening.
What do you mean?
I must stop myself from ever going back in time. I've been wasting my life within this cursed forest. The Southern Stone. That's the key to... Wait, what's that? Is that Fletch?
Where?
Fletch! Ah!
Oh!
I'm sorry, dear, but your role has been cut.
The temple. You must go back. Go through the temple. The Southern Stone. Bane away Tendel. Those are the words. Stop this from happening. Take my diary. It will prove everything.
Oh, Benoa Tendor. Alright, don't worry. We'll stop this from happening and it's like this never happened, right? Fletchy!
It's time for the grand finale of our little production.
Yeah.
And thus the play continues. I'll see you soon.
No. Okay. This time we're going this way. No one else around.
Such an effort to escape me. I suppose I have what I need.
Into the portal.
Well, I suppose it's curtain call. You finally figured it out. Well, Andowan figured it out, didn't she? But hey, you put all the legwork in. And here you are, just in time to stop our leading lady from ever performing her starring role.
Curtain call? Wait, I just killed you after you killed Andowan.
Ah, but did you kill me? Truly? Not even an accomplished healer could bring me back? And yes, I did take part in Andowan's final scene. Or rather, I will. All a matter of perspective there, you see. But she shouldn't have tried to cut the act short.
The act?
Andowan was the leading lady of our production. It was up to her to uncover the mysteries of Ebenstadmont, to find the true potential of its hidden power. But she found a way to escape, and in her last breath told you the way back to the start.
Back to the start. Does that mean I'm in the present?
Sadly, yes. And so my part must end as well. I put on quite the performance, though, don't you think? The poor, confused soul, the dastardly villain, the mysterious sage. But I think you have a task to do, don't you? A dying wish to fulfill?
I know I need to stop Andowan from going to the past.
Yes, our heroine should be just outside, if I remember correctly. After so many times around, though, I tend to lose track. Well, no need to get into all of that.
Wait, I still have questions. Who are you?
I told you the very first time we met. I'm Fletch. I used to be a mere actor, but now I serve a greater force. I've served her for quite a while now, helping to find the true power of Ebenstadmont. With Andowan's help, of course.
You serve a greater force. What do you mean?
What did Andowan call her? Ah, the Spirit of the Sanctum. An appropriate title as any. She rules over this forest. I think she always has, though I'm not quite sure. She needed the power here, you see. Ebenstadmont was integral to her plans.
Her plans?
Don't bother asking me. Mostly because I have no idea. I would have died had the spirit not saved me. And it wasn't too bad. A supporting role at best. I'd make sure the loop continued, make sure Andowan kept researching again and again.
Continued the loop. I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I barely understand, and I've lived through it. And it's done now, in any case. You made sure of that. But I think the spirit learned enough. It will have to do.
What did the spirit learn enough about?
The language here, of course. You see, it's all rather tricky. Only mortals are able to use the language. That's what allowed you to travel through time after all. And Andowan was the perfect candidate to uncover its secrets.
So Andowan was trapped in Ebenstadmont to study the language?
Yes. All our heroine needed was the proper motivation. Andowan was trapped within the forest, unable to get out. Then she would hear a whisper. Guiding, always guiding. And as Andowan used the language, my mistress would be watching.
Okay. Let's go see Anduin.
There you are! We finally made it to the temple. Oh, I just can't wait to see what secrets are inside.
The temple is a trap. We need to leave this forest now.
The temple is a trap? What do you mean?
Here, this book should fill you in.
A book? Why, this is my handwriting. I've been trapped within this forest for decades now. Trapped within the past. My face is filled with wrinkles. My heart darkened with regrets. My life was stolen from me.
Something led you to this temple, all in an attempt to trap you here.
Something trying to... My goodness. This is all so hard to wrap my head around.
That book should fill you in on the details, but for now we must leave.
Yes, I agree. You've gone above and beyond protecting me during this expedition. Though the details seem a bit complicated, to think I would have been trapped here, I'd say our contract is concluded. Thank you for all you've done. I suppose I did succeed in this expedition. The notes you've given me are written by my hand after all. Though of course that me won't exist now since you've stopped me and I'm going to stop now. Before my head hurts.
I only know you were trapped here.
I'm sure these notes will give me more details. The best thing to do now is share our findings with the Mages Guild. Let them know how dangerous this forest truly is. As for me, I'll join back up with Tellinger.
Are you upset to be going back to Tellinger?
You know, it may be silly, but I suppose I came here to step out of his shadow. If I could be the one to crack Ebenstadmont, well, perhaps that would be enough. And then I was trapped in the past to serve a mysterious being. Well, I would have been.
I could see where that would put you off.
Tellinger is the one who makes brash decisions and puts us all in danger, and I'm the one who helps fix it. Yet as soon as I lead, I find myself in the same position as him. For now, I'd rather clean up his messes rather than make my own.